It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Get set, get set.
A first carry here for Jordan James. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Right back to him on first down. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
A short throw to Musgrave. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. You look at this Eagle defense. Coming into this one ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now 2nd and 9. On the ground, here's the rookie from Notre Dame. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Purdy now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Evades him at the 10. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I would say that's what you call a whole lot for a little, huh?
When you bust that move out of the bag, you hope for more than 4 yards, but hey, 4 is what he got. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
Get set.
They go play action here. Purdy. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Keon Coleman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down. You look at this Niner defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. 2nd and 11. Now he's going to step up and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Diamador Lenore. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Eagles nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
23-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
A gain of 15 yards.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Oh, look at the juke. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's going to be brought down. He needed to get to the 20, but he's a yard or two short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
70, let's go.
Back to throw again. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
Get set, get set.
Throwing here, Purdy. And he gets it to Bolden. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now Purdy. Now he'll tuck this and run. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
First down carry for Barkley. He tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw here. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A heck of an effort there on the scramble. Leaves him with just 3rd and a yard.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the 49ers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. We don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
Get set, get set. Final round up, start.
Purdy.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Now a 2nd and 10.
James.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Second down and 4.
Outside. 18, watch out. Up.
Now a handoff up the middle. McDowell. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Get set, up.
Purdy looking to throw.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Bearing for the sack by big Jalen Carter. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but
Let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called a desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
He'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready? Bronco 80.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
They'll look to throw again. And he is caught and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7.
17, Eagles 7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Here's Purdy.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
38-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Up the middle they go. McDowell.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. Nifty move. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Come on, set.
Back to throw.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
Yeah, he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Wiggles free. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Back to throw, Purdy.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a handoff up the middle. McDowell. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Purdy now to throw off the play action.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught at the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for the Niners. 48 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Get set, get set. 118, what's up? Up.
They run it with James. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Purdy will set up to throw it here.
toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Purdy now to throw. Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. That sort of goes without saying. That's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true, because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside, or are you just keeping it yourself? Are you pitching it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between, and you're a little indecisive on the play, and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Luke Musgrave.
A 22-yard touchdown ground.
And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now.
Now whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as we'll get this up to the 29. And we're going to stop play here at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him. And we'll step aside for a moment.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Here we go, shot. 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this up to the 43.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready?
They'll look to throw now on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Up the middle with Barkley. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Come on, set. Bronco 80. Take go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And it's taken in at the 9. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of the team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed.
52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Third and 2.
Get set.
Back to throw. Purdy. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Smile Munden in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. They'll run on first down. Lamb. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 3.
Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 20, here's second down and 2.
Let's go now. Lookin 19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Eagles on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out of the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 4.
Get set. Get set. 18.
They'll keep it on the ground. McDowell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
58 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space. But there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's James. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Now Purdy.
Coleman has it here right side.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Up the middle they go. McDowell.
And he's going to have a Niners 1st down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McDowell.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. McDowell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And it's complete to Mitchell. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
It's a gain of 10. 1st down, 49ers.
On the ground. It's James. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time. Off season. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Okay, ready?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This a 2nd and 8.
They go again with Davis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2.
Ready?
It's Davis on the counter. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Cougar 19. Ready?
And they'll indeed take a knee. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And they will take a knee here.
Shut up. 70 Lions.
And they take a knee. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Down. 52.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Castro. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Niners are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Ready? Rocco 80. Go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the 49ers, the wins